Samsung hard drive 870 EVO. This is SSD hard drive of 1 terabyte. I bought it recently for 79 euro, what is quite cheap. It was just a month ago was 100, and few years ago was even few hundred euro. I will try to use this hard disk in place of the hard disk of my 10-year-old computer. This is Medion Akoya from 2013. It still have quite nice processor of E5, but the hard disk have so many errors that it's difficult to work with that computer anymore. So I decided to put new hard disk, electronic hard disk, and in this way refurbish that computer and make it much more modern. To do this, we have to first disassemble a little bit that computer and take out the old hard disk. We begin with removing the battery. That's for the safety reason. Where we will be working with inside the computer, it's more safe when there is no battery and no electricity in that laptop at all. Now we have to disassemble a little bit the housing of the laptop and take out the hard disk, the existing old hard disk. We have to be very careful with that small screw. They are really small, and it's better to put it in a glass or something, not to lose it. Now we take off part of the housing and we can see the old hard drive inside our laptop. This hard drive is in a mounting bracket, and this mounting bracket we have to also disassemble and take out of the computer. This bracket is again fixed with 2 screws. Now we have to pull out to get this hard disk out. Okay, it goes. And we can see there are 3 groups of connectors. This is the other side of this hard disk. This is old Samsung hard disk. Now we have to disassemble the old hard disk for his mounting bracket. This mounting bracket is fixed with the hard disk, also with the screws, with 4 screws. And we have to be even more careful because these screws are even smaller than the previous one. Dropping such a screw on the floor, it will be really hard job to find it. Okay, now we can take this hard disk from the mounting bracket, and we will need this mounting bracket for the new hard disk. It's important to remember in which position was the hard disk fixed with the bracket. That because the connectors have to be in the correct position. So we are checking, and when we know for sure in which position should we assemble the new hard disk, we can just do it, assembling the new hard disk with the mounting bracket that we have from the old hard disk. And again we have to put the screw in place. The new electronic hard disk is a solid state hard disk, and it doesn't have an engine, so it doesn't need so much power as the old type of hard disk. Therefore, there is less connectors because we don't have power supply connector. Thus, we have only 2 rows of connectors, but don't worry, it's correct. And now, when we assemble the hard disk, we inserting and we push in so that the connectors are getting in the right position. Slightly push the bracket, and now the hard disk is in the correct position, so we can fix again the bracket to the body of the laptop. Now, when we finish fixing the bracket, we can put the plastic cover above the hard disk. We push the cover to the right position, and again fixing this plastic cover with the screws. And now we have our SSD hard disk assembled. So the last thing we have to do is to put back the battery, because there is no more danger now. And then mechanical installation of the hard disk is finished. Of course, we will not throw away the old hard disk, because you never know, maybe one day we will have to look at it to find something or whatever, but for now we have just computer, laptop with the new SSD hard disk of 1 terabyte. What we now have to do is to install the Windows. So we start connecting our laptop with the power supply, and very important, with the network, with the internet. And of course, we have to put some medium from which we will start the Windows. this medium which contain so-called ISO file. It can be on DVD or on the pen drive. I selected the pen drive, and I have made this pen drive before with the ISO file burned on it. So now we have to switch on the computer and to wait for the Windows starting to install, and just it started. We get first screen. On this screen we have to select the language of our Windows system, then the region where we are. At this moment I am in Belgium, so the Belgium is chosen here, and then we will have to also select the keyboard. Of course, we have a laptop, we know what kind of keyboard it has, and we have to select the correct keyboard to be able to work with that computer later on. In our case, it's Belgian period keyboard. And we can go further. Windows is starting up. Installation of Windows is starting up. Here is the question of the key for the Windows. But we don't have this key because this computer was bought with the Windows long time ago, but that means that we have the license for Windows. And this license, that here we are choosing the correct version of Windows, that's Windows 10 Home. And this license is electronically written in our Microsoft account. So we will get everything correct later on. We select here custom installation, and now we have simple choice because there is only one hard disk on which the Windows can be installed. It's our SSD hard disk which we just assembled. And now when we make all these choices, installation begins. It goes very fast because this is electronic hard disk, so it's fast also with the installation. And now we have automatic reset. From time to time we have to wait. Some software is already installed, like for example Explorer in other components of Windows. And we again have to select the region. Of course, it's already known that it's Belgium. Once again, the right keyboard have to be selected. In our case, it's Belgian period. And now, at this moment, there is a question about our Microsoft account. We have to give the name of this account, the password, and then the rest of installation will go according to what we have on our account. They ask to create a PIN for fast start of the computer. So we will create a PIN. So we create the pin. This is only few minutes, and now we see the Windows are ready. There is not much installed on this Windows, of course. The rest we have to install ourselves. That means we have to make our personal configuration of this Windows. But let's see what is already installed. With the Windows Explorer we can see how much place took this system. It's 26 gigabyte on 1000 gigabyte hard disk. That's almost nothing. Before we have 550 gigabytes taken by Windows, all actualization of Windows. Now we can see once again what is installed. Well, not much, but a little bit. In my case, when I have Microsoft Microsoft Office 365, it's automatically placed here. We switched off, and now we will switch on the computer. We get first screen immediately. We put the pin, and after placing the right pin, Windows start immediately. So how it works with that electronic hard disk. Okay, that's everything for today. Thank you very much, and goodbye.